Let's do it. Oh, but anyway, just to finish that, my team's so bad that if your player makes a big play, so if they score a touchdown, or if they have a run or a pass or a catch of more than 20 yards, you get a notification that's like, hey, Dak Prescott just made a big play. And my team's so bad that some weeks I'll literally forget that, like, it does that, and I'll get, like, my first, like, notification, and it's, like, middle of the third quarter, and I'm like, oh, yeah. It's like stuff you should immediately be getting, like, notifications, like, 10 minutes in, being like, hey, your player just did something. And I'll get one, you know, like, 2 hours into the game, and I'll be like, oh, yeah. Rip. This is so bad.
Alright, all we have left is the final dungeon. There's 4 trials. I'm going to do the 4 trials and then leave the actual boss for next time.
Ooh.
As you would expect, the final boss is the hardest thing.
Of course. Heh. Don't do it.
Take a break. You've only been playing for 20 minutes. Take a break. Take a break. Take a break. Oh, it didn't tell me.
I mean, wait, couldn't you, if you're on the 3DS, couldn't you be, like, out taking a walk or something like that? Couldn't you be being healthy?
Implying 10 being unhealthy.
True. Nintendo, I kneel.
Would you play Link Between Worlds on the walk?
Not while currently walking, but, like, if I walked, like, a mile and then sat down on, like, a bench, yeah.
Legit.
So, I want to say to Nintendo, I kneel. I kneel. The third Mario Party game for the Switch just came out 2 days ago. Mario Party, what is it, Jamboree. And I ordered, like, 40 copies, because I was, like, for the store. Because I was like, well, it's near the end of the Switch life cycle, and it's the third Mario Party game in the life cycle. And we went through, like, literally 15 copies today. Today's Saturday, so 2 days after it came out. We're, like, almost out of that 40 copies. Wow. I think we have, like, 2 left.
Yeah, it is really weird that they, it must have just been a stopgap, like, holiday title. Since the Switch 2 was probably delayed because of, manufacturing, like, supply chain stuff. And
yeah.
I'm gonna guess that that was just a stop. Maybe potentially was supposed to be a Switch 2, maybe like a launch title or something. I don't know. I'm just fan-fictioning right now.
Anyway.
It is weird that they released a third one at the holiday before the Switch 2.
Anyway, I kneel. I literally kneel. Like, for us to go through 40 copies of a game in the first couple days in 2024 usually means it's like a big title. Big. So I kneel. Literally, if it was the first Mario Party, I'd be like, okay. But it's the third one in the... It's the third one in the console generation. Nintendo fans, Nintendrones, whatever you want to say, are just the most hardcore.
I will say that the Mario Party series has been helmed by P-Cube. Whoops. Since, like, I think Nintendo made Mario Party 10, which is surprising because that one is, like, awful. But then after that, I think P-Cube has done all the games, and starting out it was pretty rough. Super Mario Party is, like, garbage. But then, I think P-Cube did Wii Party, so they've been working on, like, stuff like that for, like, a while. But slowly the games have been getting better. Super Mario Party is, like, a soulless husk. But then, Superstars was, like, good, but the problem is that it was, like, it reused so much stuff. Alright, what am I doing?
I guess this new one got good reviews then, or something.
Yeah, people were saying that it's pretty good. So they're slowly getting better.
Did that company P-Cube make the 3DS ones?
I think they made some of them, yeah. So that's why, like, the beginning was really rough. And then Super Mario Party was still bad, but it was like, even then it was, like, better. think I did this in a really stupid way, but no. Get away.
Man, including all the handheld ones, there has to be literally 20 Mario Party games.
Definitely console-wise, at least 13. Mario Advance, 14. DS, 15.
Right.
And then 3 for the 3DS, 18.
Wow. And the first one came out, not... No!
I should have cleared out these guys beforehand.
Not that many years ago. What was it, 1999? So what, 25-ish years ago? So they made 18 Mario Party games in 25 years. That is pretty hardcore.
Okay, I did this so stupidly. That entire thing where I, like, went on the wall to do stuff was completely unnecessary. I just had to walk to the left.
No!
Alright, here's the scariest portion.
Oh. One small key.
Yeah, all these dungeons are exactly the same. They have some sort of specific challenge, you get a small key, then you go down, then fight a mini-boss.
Huh.
Again, this is the final dungeon. They're still segmenting stuff in specific, like, that was the bomb challenge. It's like, at this point, it's like, come on, you should expect, like, people to have everything, but they don't.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's another game I'm thinking of in the back of my mind that kind of does the same thing. I'll see if I can remember it, but I do like the way they have this set up where it's like, it's the bomb dungeon,
Yeah.
but I wish the final one was, it's the everything dungeon.
Yeah, the problem is that this entire game has been like, this is the X dungeon.
Boy, there's a game I'm thinking of, and I just cannot... It's one that does a similar type of,
The complete opposite,
layout.
the Chad game Brave Fencer Musashi, the final thing requires you to use every single power.
Do you know what game design / meme I really like? It's like, kind of like
yeah,
the Metroidvania stuff where you always lose your stuff right away, except for you gain it all throughout the game, right? And then at the very end, you have to, like, give up everything in order to finish the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you have to set it the whole way through?
Yeah. There's like, I have to knock another spike ball with this spike ball. The laws of the momentum would make that thing stop, but
yeah.
This
But, like, say hypothetically it was like a Metroid-type game, right? Maybe a game's done this before, and you build up all this stuff throughout the course of the game, right? But in order to get to the final boss, you have to go through all these trials, and each trial takes away one of your abilities till you get to the final boss, and essentially you're like the most base version. Maybe it could be story reason, and then for a story reason you get your abilities back for the very last fight.
I swear I played a game that does exactly that.
Right?
Where you have to get rid of everything.
Right?
But...
I'm not smart enough to have figured that out on my own. You know what I mean? Like, I've definitely played a game that's done that.
Anyone that knows, comment
Please.
below.
It's like the opposite of Blood Will Tell, you know?
We're not stupid, we just have the memory span of a goldfish. It runs in the family.
Yes. No way. Oh, that's so cool.
Pretty neat.
But yeah, I love stuff like that. I love that. That's honestly one of my favorite game design choices is like the blood will tell for PS2 kind of thing, where you very slowly build up your abilities through time, you know, and many games do it. I also really like the whole like Soul Blazer kind of thing, where you slowly, like, you have a main hub, and as you continue throughout the game, you keep unlocking very small things that fix it.
Yes.
Like, even
Digimon World does that.
Digimon World does that. And this is a weird example, but it's true. There's the best NFL game ever made.
Oh, NFL 2K5. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It literally has,
it has that crib thing.
Yeah, it has a crib, like crib meaning like your house. I guess that's like a 2000s word, but as you unlock more, you'll like, yo, you just got a trophy in there and whatever.
As the kids say now,
love that.
As the kids say now, you're lit AF house.
Yeah, what would they say instead of crib? Wasn't there a show called
Pimp My Ride?
Well, I was thinking of Pimp My Ride, but there's a crib one. It might have just been called Cribs?
Cribbin'.
Cribbin'. What was that called? I was not part of the MTV generation. I did not care for Jackass and Bam and all that stuff. Earth Rockers. We live in good tonight, Earth Rockers. That was always so fun to mess with. We had an employee, not Ben Brosman, but an employee named Ben at CIB, and he was from Westchester, where Bam Margera's from, and Bam Margera very famously has, like, completely lost his mind over the past, like, 5 to 10 years. And whenever anything happened, I would always share it with Ben and be like, because like Bam is like an icon for Westchester, and I'm like, yikes, your boy. And he would just be like, I think there was a time where the police were after him, and he ran off naked into the woods, and like stayed there for a couple of days, and I was like, yeah, that's a normal thing to do. I mean, running off into the woods from the police, I get it, but he was like naked.
That's awesome.
And he was just like, yeah. And it was over something stupid. It was like, hey, you owe child support or something. And he was like, it's like, ah, cool. That's cool, dude. That's one game I do want to play eventually, is the Tony Hawk Underground series, because Bam Margera is like a literal main character in the second one.
That's cool.
Almost everyone says that Underground 1 or 2 is their favorite, but I don't know. I love Pro Skater 3 so much that I'm just like, I don't know.
I don't like the open area ones where it's just like, do what you want, and then you start like challenges. I like the 2-minute segment thing. It's just,
right?
Just good old fun.
Well,
yeah, this is the. I talked about this a million years ago. But this is the Master Hand challenge.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, right. And you don't want to kill the Master Hand because you need him like around to do a bunch of stuff. And if you kill him, it takes him like a minute to like respawn.
I think they stopped doing the a long time ago. The 2 minutes for Tony Hawk's. Like, it was like after Pro Skater 4, they were like, nope.
Pro Skater 4 also has the open world stuff.
5?
No, 4 does. Like,
oh,
you can get into areas and it's not timed, so it's the first 3.
So it's literally 3. Wow. For me, the reason I didn't want to play Underground is you can get off of the is you can get off the board, and that continues combos, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me to be able to get off the board and for 5 seconds, and it's like, your combo's still good, and I'm like, well, what's the point?
I also think that manuals kind of make... It's like, it increases the skill level, but like, once you're like good enough, you're just like... Just have a combo going for like the full 2 minutes. It's like, eh.
Yeah. Eh. Yeah, that does... I mean, obviously, it does make for ridiculously big scores and all that. But I agree, it does take a little bit away. Nice hook shot, bro. Ooh, you're playing. I was gonna say you're playing with fire.
It's fine. Although if I get grabbed on the way back, I'm gonna be mad. But at that point, I can kill him. Hey, do you want like 31 rubies? No, it's the final dungeon.
What if you have to go back and get something?
It's just funny that there's like all those blocks of like, look, 1 ruby. You want 1 ruby, right?
Right.
It's like, no, I don't. Right. So this is.
You have to get him to slap the
yeah,
one.
this is sussy, for sure. And I can't move too fast or he won't hit the. Oh god.
Wow. So speaking of the master hands or whatever they are, the wall masters.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I was thinking about the other day? Addams Family is one of those things that is like just literally never gonna go away. Like it was first a show in what, the 1960s, and it seems like every 20 years it just has this huge comeback. You know what I mean? Like every 20 years it's like, hey, guess what's big again? Addams Family. And it's like, how? Because remember that it was the movies in the early 90s, and then they had all those like Nintendo and Super Nintendo games. And you were like, I wouldn't blame you if you were like, oh, Addams Family was a thing from the 90s, right? It's like, no, it was a thing from the 60s that they brought back. But like, again, it's back with that show Wednesday and like some new animated Addams Family movies. And I'm like, what an odd thing for the powers that be in Hollywood to be like,
they're just desperate for anything.
hey, you know what's back?
You know what's back? Beetlejuice, or whatever it's called. It's
Right.
Like, yeah, you remember that movie from 30 years ago?
Literally.
It's back.
It's gonna be so weird. Like, Addams Family is gonna go away again, and it's gonna come back again in, like, the 2030s, and be like, hey, remember Addams Family? Like, that, it's just, and it's not like it's something that's, like, always been somewhat around, like, I don't know, like, Garfield has always, like, kind of been a thing, but Addams Family will, like, literally go away for 20 years, and then all of a sudden they're like, remember Addams Family? Now it's the big Netflix show, and it's like, what? It's kind of like, Flintstones, and to a lesser extent, Jetsons, almost kind of do the same thing. Like, have you ever thought, Trev, about how weird it is that, like, Flintstones and Jetsons had all these video games in the 80s and 90s for, like, the NES and SNES and stuff like that? Because you're like, oh, it's an old show, but you're like, wait a minute. Flintstones was on, like, in the mid-60s.
Yeah, it is pretty weird.
That would be like if suddenly, I'm trying to think, early 2000s thing. If suddenly someone made a game for, like, the Scream movies, but also pretend that Scream didn't have, like, 5, like, oh, actually that did happen. Blair Witch. They didn't have one for, like, 20 years, and they're like, here's a game for it.
There's even, like, Japanese properties where they do that. It's like Astrobot is, like, from the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, here's this Astrobot, like...
There was a bunch on PS2.
I think they had, like, some sort of movie at the time, but even on, like, Game Boy Advance before the movie, it's like, here's Astrobot. I think it's called Omega Mission. It's like, here it is. Remember Astrobot?
It's just so weird.
Alright, so we're done with this dungeon, and
Nice.
literally all that's left is the final boss.
Let's go.
We're gonna save that.
I think you probably got 2 solid videos out of this. This was probably 40, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, something like that.
It's fine.
No. Take a break? Take a break for like 2 days. Alright, boys and ghouls.
One thing I wanted to mention, but we were talking so much, when you complete the challenges, it unlocks a new instrument for this, like, song. So by the time you do the 3rd one, you hear the trumpets come in, and there's other ones that come in. Pretty cool attention to detail.
Wow, that is really cool. Alright guys, next time we'll be here to finish LBW. We'll see you next time. And